Coming to skeletal tissue or the hard connective tissue. This tissue forms the endoskeleton of the vertebrates. This tissue includes cartilage and bone. We'll first take up cartilage. As compared to bone, cartilage is relatively soft. Coming to structure of the cartilage, you can see in your diagram, we have shown structure of a hyaline cartilage and the elastic cartilage. Cartilage consists of cells which are called chondroblast and the chondrocytes. These are the important cells of the cartilage. The matrix of the cartilage is made up of chondroin, and the cartilages are covered by fibrous layers of fibroblast. There is a fluid-filled space in the cartilage which is known as lacuna. A young elastic cell, a young cartilage cell is relatively small, flat, and it contains many surface projections. The surface projections are important, which are known as chondroblasts. Chondroblasts actually are those cells which are responsible for formation of cartilage. The embryo in human beings is mainly made up of cartilage. The mature cartilage cell becomes larger in size, they become more rounded, and they still have a few surface projections. Now these surface projections are known as chondrocytes. So there is a difference between chondroblast and chondrocyte. When the cell is young and forming stage, these surface projections are called chondroblast. But a mature cell still contains some projections. Now they are known as chondrocytes. The ground substance or the matrix. It consists essentially of water, proteoglycans. Proteoglycans is actually a combination of proteins. This is the protein part and this is the carbohydrate part. It is a combination of protein and carbohydrate. It also contains some lipid, collagen, and some non-collagenous proteins. The cartilages are of three types. First is the hyaline cartilage. The hyaline cartilage contains an elastic matrix and less fibers. The matrix often has very fine white fibers which are difficult to observe. Hyaline cartilage is one of the strongest cartilage. Therefore, it forms articular surfaces. Articular surfaces means those surfaces which takes part in the formation of a joint. It also forms parts of larynx and sternum. Another important place where hyaline cartilage is present is rings of trachea and bronchi, sternal parts of the ribs, hyoid apparatus, and the nasal cartilage. Most of the embryonic skeleton consists of hyaline cartilage. This is an important point. Most of the embryonic cartilage, instead of being formed by bones, is made up of hyaline cartilage. Coming to fibrous cartilage, it is called fibrous because it contains well-developed fibers. It is of two types. First is the white fibrous cartilage or the white fibrocartilage. The matrix is firm and has abundant white fibers. It occurs in the intervertebral disc. Intervertebral disc is the space or the disc present between different vertebrae, and it acts as a cushion. And in the pubic symphysis, where it helps in parturition. Parturition, is the process of giving birth. Parturition is the process of giving birth. It is also a very strong cartilage. Coming to yellow elastic fibrocartilage, the matrix contains numerous yellow fibers. Due to the presence of yellow fibers, the cartilage becomes more flexible. We can see this type of cartilage is present in pinna. Therefore, a pinna is a very flexible structure. And the external auditory canal. It is also present in eustachian tube, epiglottis, tip of the nose. Because of the presence of yellow elastic cartilage, these organs are flexible. Coming to calcified cartilage. The matrix contains, as the name suggests, granules of calcium carbonate. The presence of calcium carbonate makes this cartilage hard and inelastic. This cartilage is found in suprascapula of pectoral girdle of frog. Suprascapula we can commonly say is the shoulder joint. It is also present in vertebrae of the shark. A strong connective tissue is the bone. It is the hardest tissue of the body. The inorganic substances present are calcium phosphate, calcium carbonate, calcium fluoride, magnesium phosphate, etc. In the diagram, you can see various parts of the bone. This is the epiphysis. Epiphysis contains more of organic substance and less of inorganic. And this is the growing part of the bone. The diaphysis is the main part of the bone. It contains mainly inorganic substances. Periosteum is a thin membrane all around the bone. If a bone is dried, the organic matter is destroyed and inorganic part is left behind. Similarly, if a bone is burnt, the organic matter burns and the inorganic part is left behind. On the other hand, if a bone is kept in dilute HCl, then the reverse phenomena will take place. Its inorganic part will dissolve and organic part will be left behind. Such a bone is called decalcified bone, and such a bone becomes relatively soft. If we study the structure of decalcified mammalian bone, it consists of four parts: periosteum, matrix, endosteum, and the bone marrow. Periosteum, peri means all around and osteum means bone. Therefore, periosteum is a thick, tough sheet which envelops the bone. It is composed of collagen fibers. Bundles of collagen fibers called Sharpie's fibers. These Sharpie's fibers connects bone with the periosteum. The periosteum is also important because it contains blood vessels. The matrix. Matrix is composed of a protein called osin. Matrix also contains some salts which are calcium phosphate, calcium carbonate, sodium chloride, magnesium phosphate. Of course, out of all these salts, calcium phosphate is maximum in the bone. The Haversian canal is a characteristic feature of the mammalian bones. Haversian canals are present in the matrix. If we see the structure of a Haversian canal, it contains an artery, a vein, lymph vessels, nerve, and some bone cells, all packed with a connective tissue. Another important point is the Haversian canals are interconnected by transverse channels called the Volkmann's canals. You can see the diagram of a Haversian system. These are the empty spaces which are known as lacunae. Lacunae contains various osteoblasts and osteocytes. Endosteum. It is present outer of the bone marrow. And finally the bone marrow. It is present in long bones. Remember, bone marrow is a component of only long bones. It is a cavity present inner to the endosteum. Then coming to types of bones. On the basis of texture, a bone is of two types: spongy or the cancellous or the tubercular bone, and the compact or the periosteal or dense bone. Spongy bone, as the name suggests, consists of a network of thin and irregularly longitudinal and transverse bony bars, which are called trabeculae. These trabeculae are covered by endosteum. It is found at the end of the long bones. The end of the long bones is called epiphysis. Spongy bone contains red bone marrow, but it is without Haversian systems. Coming to compact bone, it is comparatively hard and compact. It is found in the shaft of the long bones. Shaft is the main part of the bone or the diaphysis of the bone. Compact bone contains yellow bone marrow, which is a non-functional bone marrow, and it has many Haversian systems. According to the type of formation, bones are of following types. First are the cartilaginous or the replacing bones. These bones develop from the pre-existing cartilage and practically replaces the cartilage. They are also called endochondral bones. Endo means inner, chondral is the cartilage. As they develop inside the cartilage, therefore they are also called endochondral bones. Example, long bones of the body like humerus and femur. Second type of bones are the investing or the dermal or membrane bones. These bones develop in the dermis of the skin as thin plates and sink to get attached over the original cartilaginous endoskeleton. In fact, these bones become invested upon original cartilage and hence their name. Generally, the smaller bones of the body like frontals, nasal, vomer, and parietal of the skull. Sesamoid bone. These bones are formed in the tendons, for example, patella or the kneecap. Visceral bones. Viscera is the internal organ of the body. Therefore, visceral bones are present in the soft organs, like os cordis in the heart of some ruminants like deer, os penis in the penis of the bat, os clitoris in the clitoris of many carnivores, and os palpebrae in the eyelids of crocodile.